What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all of y'all, as always, are having a fantastic day. And guys, I just had a quick question. Are the days of crypto profit yield earning potential gone in the RH ecosystem? Guys, we have seen some massive reduction in things lately, right? We've seen a 95% reduction in the yield in the ink output. We've seen a massive decrease as well when it comes to the amount of yield earned in the Hex ecosystem. And so guys, I actually have a couple of different things for topic today because there's been a major shift happening in farming rewards, right? And the main issue, to just keep it as simple as possible, the core problem was farms were just too damn rewarding, folks. Okay, so imagine someone was to put in $10,000, right? And the way the system works is you gotta do half of one, half of the other. So you do half of DAI, a stable coin, you do half the other in Pulse, and you throw that into a liquidity pool and you throw that into a farm. This previously, before all of the slashings, would earn you roughly about 300 ink per month. And that was just simply for parking your funds and letting it do what it does, providing liquidity while at the same time earning some yield. But the downside to it is people would actually instantly sell the ink for profit. Now, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that you can't do that. It's not like it's not allowed for everyone or whatever the case may be. If you want to go sell, you can sell, whatever the case may be. But the downside to it is ink is tied to the rest of the ecosystem, and because of Hart's Law, whenever people suppress the price of the incentive token because they have the ability to just earn a massive, ungodly amount, this is actually suppressing the price of ink, thereby suppressing the price of Pulse, thereby suppressing the price of all the other RH ecosystem tokens. Because imagine not just one person doing this, but 50,000 to 100,000 people doing this. And again, it's a heck of a lot more capital than $10,000. I'll let you know that right now. Because now, guys, everything's changed. You can now, on that same $10,000, earn only about 15 ink per month instead of 300 with the same $10,000 investment. Guys, the ink rewards were slashed by 95%. As a matter of fact, you can actually see that on the PulseX site. If you didn't know, you can actually go into the PulseX side, go into the farms. You can actually see the inflation side right now. So down here, it actually shows 0.05 ink per second. You can also go into the MasterChef contract as well. And so just by going into the MasterChef contract, you can scroll on down and see this little ink per second side. And you can see it's right now roughly about 0.05 ink per second. Now, personally, guys, I think this number is actually going to go down a lot lower if people continue to actually try to remain in the farms. And the reason why is because they want to do something with these prices, right? So what's this actually mean? Because, guys, right now there's essentially two choices. The two choices that you have, being a farmer in this ecosystem, or you can actually continue to or come up with more capital so you can actually earn the same amount of yield, meaning at this point in time, if you wanted to actually come up with more capital, you would need 15 times more capital to earn 300 ink per month. So again, that's going to be a lot more capital than just $10,000, okay? Keeping that same thing in mind, again, that's going to be like $150,000 just to be able to earn 300 ink per month, okay? So if you want to do that, by all means, you can still do that. The other way of doing it, and you're seeing a lot of people do that right now, is they're actually taking the farm and they're actually deploying capital now, because this is actually where people are now pulling out of the farms, taking their $10,000 or taking their capital and actually deploying that capital. A lot of people are swapping their stable coins now for DAI or for Pulse, or they're swapping their DAI for Pulse or Ink or PulseX or Hex, and they're betting on the price gains instead. Hex is going through a similar transformation right now as well, guys. If you aren't familiar with this, before people could stake and pretty much easily earn and sell monthly rewards without needing to ever buy more Hex. Now, a lot of people got in during the early stage and they've just been living off that yield the entire time. They haven't deployed more capital. They haven't bought more capital. They're simply just living off the yield. But now with 92% of the Hex being staked and yields being reduced, anyone who actually wants to maintain that same income either has to come in with more Hex and buy more Hex to actually come up with more capital to actually earn that same amount of yield, or they now actually have to hold for longer. And so what's interesting about this is you can actually see this as well. If you actually go to the actual stat page on apphex.win, you can see right now the overall payout, or the overall amount being staked, is 93% being staked on the Pulse Chain network, which is absolutely insane, and 92.49% being staked on the Ethereum network. Now again, whenever I'm paying attention to this, what I am paying attention to is this daily payout per T-share. On the Ethereum side, it's now 1.98 hex per T-share, and on the Pulse Chain side, it's now 1.96 hex per T-share. Again, guys, we used to get an average of roughly about 7 to 8 hex per day, right? This is actually what it was back in the day, and you can just kind of see as we go through and just kind of click over here, 7.5, 8 hex per day, 7.8. This is what it used to be as well. Now it's actually 1.9 and 1.8 hex per T-share. Now this is going to massively reduce the amount of sell pressure that people were doing before. Because now if there's a user previously who had 50 million hex, for example, they could just take it for 30 days and earn roughly about 300,000 hex per month with that initial 50 million hex being staked. Now that would net you roughly about $6,000 even at just 2 cents, folks. But they would just sell it and they would pay for expenses. They never committed to buying any additional capital because they can continue to rinse and repeat this over and over and over. So we are seeing a ton, and I do mean a ton, of short-term stakes on this, guys. There are so many people deploying this for a very short amount of time that this actually causes now more people to actually come in with more capital, and if they actually want to earn the exact same amount of hex. So now the OA wallet or daughter addresses or whoever it might be have now staked 92% of the hex. This is now slashing the yields, guys. So if you wanted to keep earning $6,000 per month on just the hex, you would need to come up with 4 times more hex up front. So that 50 million hex that you were staking out for 30 days now needs to be 200 million hex staked out for 30 days to still earn 300,000 hex per month. Okay, so bottom line, guys, the easy money loophole, it's gone. This is absolutely a game changer. The days of quick, easy profits are finally behind us, and now for the long-term holders, scarcity is creating the potential for these rising prices. And we're actually seeing the prices rise as well. If you just go over to Crypto Bubbles, this is a weekly chart of what's going on in the ecosystem. This is just here, again, on the monthly chart as well. Pretty damn bullish on these charts, guys. And so when you're looking at all of this, long-term holding is actually more rewarding, guys. Now, either you can commit more capital or you can get back into the game, start buying up some more tokens, start buying up some more capital, stop selling the damn thing every single 2 seconds that you can, and let this sucker finally begin to rally. And that's what we're finally starting to see. So for those people who do have long-term vision, who do believe in, again, seeing this thing out to the future, you are finally going to be rewarded, guys, because scarcity is going away, or it's here now. Inflation is going away. We're seeing these numbers drop like crazy. I had to get this quick video out. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow. Again, if you want to join, be sure to come back, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'll be catching every single one of y'all on the next one. Peace out. Take care.